There is a preliminary possible diagnosis that could fit this set of symptoms. It's something called Morgellons disease, and that's a controversial diagnosis. It actually has sort of a combination of the physical findings that Aidan was mentioning in terms of seeing filaments, of having the sensation of maybe bugs or parasites in your skin. And then there's often also a psychiatric component to it in terms of the way those sensations may be perceived.
We're back with Aidan discussing his medical mystery. So back to you, Dr. Ish. What could cause or trigger Morgellons disease in certain individuals?
Yeah. So it's the two-hit theory, right? The way you were wired, we're maybe high strung, or our immune system is wired to have an exaggerated response because of some of those hormonal levels. We're talking cortisol, which is your stress hormone. We're talking adrenaline. We're talking the dopamine. So you're naturally wired there. And if nothing ever happens, then you just kind of go through life as life is unfolding. But in the event of an insult or an injury, then those triggers kick into place, right? And boom, we've got these weird things going on with our mouth. We've got this stuff on our fingers, don't know how it got there. And oh, by the way, I still don't feel great from an emotional standpoint because I have had a history of depression and some anxiety. And so that's, I think, what's happening here, which is why we've got to take the 360 approach, right? We got to look. I had a histology professor in med school who said, Ish, look at the whole slide. So for Aidan, we're going to look at the whole picture of what's going on with you because all of these hormones and all these neurotransmitters, if they're elevated at a consistent level in your body, it can cause that elevated or exaggerated response that you're having to this foreign insult. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing.
Dr. Batra, we can't not address the fibers that Aidan continues to find, the changes in his oral cavity that he can express excretions there. How do we explain some of those things?
Well, at least the way I might explain them is that as I mentioned, he does have allergic and atopic tendencies. So I think the fibers, the way I might put that together is that he had an allergic rash or itching and he scratched, and some of those fibers may be material or fabric fibers from clothing he was wearing versus dead skin cells. In the mouth, it's a little more tricky, and I don't claim to have all the answers. I couldn't see it when I was examining him, but I don't doubt we also do shed mucosal cells as we eat. But to be fair, this is preliminary. We're not 100% confident, especially because there are still some outstanding test results. But and Morgellons is a controversial diagnosis. But what I hope is that at least I'm able to give you this as a starting point, and we as a team can get you on the right path to the 360 approach Dr. Ish so eloquently explained. I really do think there is hope. I think we can find a treatment plan that helps these symptoms. And I love the idea of the whole hot dog that we start with the physical and the psychological, because I think they're intertwined, and they're certainly intertwined in this aspect with everything that you're describing.